JoJo's Bizarre Adventures is what the title includes, bizarre. When you watch it, you should go in expecting a lot of bizarre things to happen because that is literally the title, and the first shot is even bizarre. Do you expect an anime to start off with in the 1800s Britain with them falling off a cliff in a carriage and everyone being dead? Psych. The baby that fell in the carriage is still alive, and so is the dad, kind of, but he's hella bruised. Then this random person comes down and tries to steal from him. Why was he even in the cliff that they just fell into? I don't know. But with all that being said, today we have more JoJo panels out of context because someone asked me in a comment sometime very recently, and I was like, you know what? Sure, these videos are very easy to make, and I do enjoy talking about them because I'm just yapping about nothing. Now, up first, you have this panel from Part 8, which I know a lot of y'all haven't read. Which, if you haven't, I'm looking at you. Read Part 8. Read it. But this panel from Part 8 of Jobin pulling out a piece of chicken and just tossing it on the grass, around on the grass. Now, that is not that bizarre, honestly. If I had to rate it, it's probably like a 6 out of 10 on the bizarre scale, maybe a 5. Matter of fact, fuck it, it's like a 4.5, honestly, because even though in a regular manga you see that for the first time, you're like, what is he doing? In JoJo's Bizarre Adventures, you kind of just assume, well, someone must love chicken, whoever he's throwing it to. Especially by this point in Part 8, because Part 8 has so many weird and crazy panels. This one is on the tamer side. You know what I mean? It really is. Up next, you have this woman who looks surprised, but she's not screaming or yelling or acting distressed. And you have Josuke, who's the one that's really distressed, saying, hey, you're drowning, right? Right? Is there something wrong with you? Like, I don't know, Josuke. She's just sitting under the water with her eyes open. Maybe she is drowning. I'll give this like a 6 out of 10 because it actually caught my eye for a second. It is pretty bizarre, but again, nothing exponentially weird is happening. It's a little weird that her facial expression hasn't changed since she's presumably been drowning and been under the water for probably a long time. But other than that, this is standard JoJo practice. This may be my favorite one we've seen today, where it is Emporio. I remember this scene vividly too. This was Emporio after he's in the new universe and he's getting chased down by Poochie, and you have this fucking 9-year-old yelling, "I've left my ghost gun in the ocean." What do you mean? And it makes it worse because this man is full on crying, tears falling out of his eyes as he tries to get away. He's literally running for his life. But that one-liner is so funny because you're in a prison now, and why were you in the ocean, for one? And for two, it's also funny that he's even saying that because that gun doesn't do shit. It does nothing. It's a replica. It's a fake. It's a phony. I'll be real. It is a ghost gun. But again, a ghost gun with ghost bullets. Oh yeah, you shot that gun pretty nice, Emporio. That's real nice. Now, this one, taken out of context, is very crazy. Very crazy. This is probably our first 10 out of 10 of the day. But it's one where Gyro was yelling about Lucy when she asked for their help in protecting Steven Steele, I believe. Yeah. And Johnny says, wait, no. And Lucy says, I don't want to do it. And Gyro says, what are you trying to make her do? She's only 14. And Gyro responds, shut up, you stay the fuck out of this. Now, usually I don't read the panel, but it's just too iconic and too funny of an out of context panel to just leave it up here. I'm sorry. Bro, that shit, cause I saw it once or twice before I read Part 7, bro. I was literally like, what the fuck is going on? We have another one of the most bizarre panels in JoJo's Bizarre Adventures, and it's from Part 8. And yeah, I don't have to say this one out loud. Y'all see this fuck ass panel. Bro, Araki was just tweaking in the 2010s and early 2020s. Because, bro, what do you mean he's writing this dialogue? And he was dead serious. I'm almost positive. If I can remember correctly, which, again, I may be wrong. That translation may be off. But I'm almost positive when I read the translation, that's what it said. I was like, oh, what do you mean, did you see his dick? I hope not. Zimbro said the D is very important. Brother, pause. If that's what you like, that's what you like, but pause. And to end it off today, we have Rohan saying, when your back was turned, I was riding on your baby. And to end it off today, y'all can see how unhinged Rohan Kashibe really is. Because what do you mean you rode on the baby? Honestly, out of context, it's like an 8 out of 10. Real shit, it's like an 8 out of 10. But seeing that panel out of context, you would think he did something worse, you know. Or why did you ride on a baby? You would kind of just be confused on why he rode on a baby. You would look at him like, you know, but since it's JoJo's, we know his power, he has to ride on people. But like, even in the context of JoJo, that's still hella bizarre. Because why did you ride on my baby? And if I remember correctly, that was to get it out of the rock, paper, scissors stand. So you just grabbed the baby of people you hate so you could get out of this. You're such a dickhead, Rohan. But if you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. You know, we're on the road to 5K, so anything helps. And until next time, peace.